Hey, what's happening, guys? Mike from MetaComix coming at you with a movie review today for Transformers Age of Extinction. So let's go ahead and talk about the things that I liked about the movie, then we'll talk about the things that I didn't like about the movie, and then what I give it as an overall score. To kick off with, this movie actually wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, and it's not nearly as bad as what a lot of people say it is. It's actually quite good, to be honest, as far as a summer popcorn movie type of deal goes. I mean, it's not an Oscar-worthy story or anything like that, but I mean, it's pretty entertaining. One of the things I liked about this movie was that there wasn't a whole lot of Transformers that I had to keep up with character-wise, so it was a lot easier to keep up with the characters, to learn their names, learn their personalities, and get to know them a little bit. So that was a major plus for me. Mark Wahlberg playing the lead role, kind of replacing Shia LaBeouf, way better than Shia. Shia kind of got old after the first movie, really. But Mark Wahlberg's just a much better actor in general. So, I think he was just a better human character. The character motivations were much different. The whole thing basically centers around Cade, which is the Mark Wahlberg character, trying to protect his daughter. That's what the whole movie's about, is him trying to get ahead financially, trying to take care of his daughter who's graduating high school, that kind of thing. So rather than Shia, where it's like, oh, I'm trying to prove that I'm cool and take care of this hot girl so I can get a little action on the side here. The motivations are a bit more pure, I think. CGI was amazing. You could actually, see the robots, the detail in the robots, their facial expressions. Some of the previous movies, I had a hard time telling different parts of the robot apart from the rest of it because it just kind of seemed to blur together. The action sequences were very good. During the battle scenes, you could actually tell the robots apart. You could tell the Transformers apart and what they were doing, how they were fighting in each battle. The camera pulled way back instead of being super up close to the action, making it hard to see. So I think that was something that Michael Bay definitely improved upon from the original trilogy. I liked Lockdown as the villain and his team up with the CIA and the humans. It was a bit more interesting than just another, let's throw Megatron in there and add one other guy with him, which is kind of what the previous two sequels did. The Dinobots were pretty cool, their design and stuff, but there was a few problems with the Dinobots that I'll get into and what I didn't like. So that's what I really liked about the movie. I thought those things were much better than they were in the previous sequels, so it was definitely a step up from Transformers Dark of the Moon. So now what I didn't like about the movie, the plot to this movie was a huge mess. I mean, it was scattered everywhere. There just wasn't much coherence in the story at all, and so it made watching it kind of difficult because you really didn't understand necessarily what was going on, or if there was anything even important really going on at all. The lack of story and kind of like character development, which is typical of a Michael Bay movie, was very much an issue in this. They had really good cast and really good characters, but they didn't explore the depth to any of them throughout the story, so you don't really get to know them very well, just surface stuff. So you don't really feel connected to them or give a crap about them throughout the story because of that lack of development there. Didn't really care for Galvatron all that much, kind of thought he was just like a little side piece, more or less a way for them to launch into the next two movies in this new trilogy, which is, that's fine. It's the setup for the sequel, but he didn't really add much to the story, I didn't think. Now, my problem with the Dinobots. The problem with the Dinobots were that you didn't get to see them very much. They came in pretty much at the end of the movie, and so the only time you really get to see them in action is what they're doing in the last, 20 minutes of the film. So, I don't know, it's kind of disappointing. The whole setup for them starts at the beginning of the movie, then close to the end, is when they finally actually come into play, and you're like, what? Wow, that was, I forgot what happened at the beginning of the movie since then. So that was kind of weird. I didn't really care for that. There was lots of cheesy slow-mo shots in this sucker. I mean, lots of them. And there was a lot of cheesy, corny, typical action movie stuff with, dialogue. It was stereotypical in a lot of spots of typical action, summer blockbuster movies. this movie was way too long. This movie was like 2 hours and 45 minutes or something like that. I don't remember. It was freaking long. They could have cut 45 minutes to an hour out of this sucker, and it would have been a much better film. The pacing was terrible. It starts off really super slow, and then it speeds up almost instantaneously into all this action that's just non-stop. And it's just really bad. With the length, it's just bad. So they could have, definitely cut out a bunch, and it would have been a much better movie. Now, overall, Transformers Age of Extinction is definitely the best movie in the series so far, but it's still got a long way to go before it will truly please fans of the franchise. So overall, I got to give it a score of about 6.9 out of 10, because it is a decent summer popcorn flick, good way to waste a few hours of time, cool robots fighting each other, and there is, a somewhat decent story with the Transformers themselves, minus the human characters, and how they develop some throughout the movie. So it's definitely worth going and checking out if you haven't already. But yeah, that's it. That's my review, guys. Got more coming for you later.